Okay, and we are streaming, maybe. Push that refresh button and see if we can see stuff.
Let us see, let us see.
As you can tell, we're incredibly prepared again.
Live stream starting soon.
That is what it says. Supposedly the stream's starting. We're gonna wait until we actually have visual before actually getting started, because Brittany's very, very excited to show off what she made for you guys today. And there we go.
All right, looks like we're live.
What a masterpiece.
Brittany, would you like to describe your latest creation?
Lips. Do you want to build a snowman?
Such poetry, really.
Art.
Ah, good. So
Highest caliber art. Sorry about the delay there, everyone who was waiting for those 20 seconds. Yeah, we were dealing with an incorrect stream key, so we're finally switched over to our somewhat more permanent equipment here, so we got that all figured out now.
As a way of intro, we talked the last couple streams about how Brittany's going to catch up on the characters we needed to catch up on. This will be a good show of how far we are behind here, but we're showing you right now what's those...
Yep, we're finally up to speed on our streamings. Well, we have a couple people from last week that we're still doing. But aside from that, we're up to speed. So, Brittany, show us what you got.
So we've got Lust.
We got Lust, if you can't hear her.
Envy.
That's Envy.
Hughes.
We have no idea how this microphone works. That's Hughes.
May.
That's May.
Not to be confused with Maze Hughes.
Yeah.
We have a May and a Maze.
Oh,
this would be fun.
Yeah.
and then Armstrong.
Look at his beautiful... Well, zoom in on those pecs real quick. What a wonderful creation that is.
Such muscles. Very bicep.
2 muscles. Also, please show our wonderful cameo. Yeah.
Okay, so just so you guys know, this will not be visible on the badge because it'll be so small, but this is what happens when you can't see things.
There's Hughes' daughter. What a
in all her high detailed glory.
She has
just like from the show.
All the limbs she should.
She does! See those tiny little arms?
Those aren't arms.
Those are arms!
It's like, no, okay, so it's like, those are her hands there, see? And she's holding, like, one strand of hair in each hand. She's like, did you need that hair, Daddy?
Alright, so that is the first set that we got done. We finished...
Sorry, just real quick. I'm just now noticing, is Hughes' daughter from, what is that show? The one with Osaka. Azumanga Daioh.
Azumanga Daioh,
yes!
yes!
It's
She
Chiho.
looks like Chio!
Good.
Oh, good.
Good.
So
that
we
is
got-
my crack cannon there.
Good.
Like,
Good. Yeah.
So we do also, I also finished off Future Diary, or the ones that I'm going to do for Future Diary during this run. I may add more later. But I've got Akise,
12?
12th, and Minene.
Is he the 12th?
Yeah, he's 12th.
yeah, he's 12th.
Okay.
Eyeball guy.
Yeah, we saw someone cosplaying him at Comic-Con, and if that person ever sees this, shout out to you. You were amazing.
No, it was at Sabacon.
No, it was maybe someone at Comic-Con too. There was one at Salt Lake City Comic-Con.
Well, I wasn't at
Yeah.
Salt Lake City Comic Con.
Well, I was, and
Either way,
you were
a
wonderful.
lot of love for the 12th, and we appreciate that because he was
It was
amazing.
I know,
fantastic.
he needed more screen time. He really went before his time.
I 110% agree.
We also have Jesse and James, and Nurse Joy is not colored yet, but we have lines, so...
Yeah, she's not colored. You can see my little reference here.
Give her that reference. It's blasphemy in these parts.
Don't.
No.
Don't.
Look at her shoes. What, she has, like,
I
Mega
get
Man.
those shoes, see?
I know, but she's got, like, Mega Man feet. Like, who designed those shoes?
I was so creative with the pose on this one, you know. I didn't even use a pose reference for James, I just did it, but her! Oh no, that simple pose I needed a pose reference for.
Yeah. By the way, is James doing, like, palm up, like, yes, please give me your money and praise, or
Yes, see
palm
the
down, like, oh my gosh, Jesse!
No! You see where the thumb's placed?
No, your hand's in the way. Oh. That could be the...
It
It
is
could be
entirely
either way.
possible.
I
that-
like it up for interpretation.
Okay.
personally.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, moving on to this week's live stream.
We're doing oh no, a tuxedo mask.
Yep. For those of you who didn't see, this week it's Sailor Moon. Now we do already have Sailor Moon and the Sailor Planets and the Sailor former planet Pluto.
Yeah.
We love you anyways, Pluto. But we don't have some of the supporting cast. So this week we will be drawing Tuxedo Mask, the generally useless, Chibi Usa, the always adorable, and Luna, the one with the kind of weird voice casting, I always thought. The, like, 40, 50-year-old woman
Because when I think
coming out of out of a
cats,
cat's body. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is, and we love it for it, but...
So I've got a Sailor Moon story for all y'all.
What? Oh my gosh, they did.
What?
Okay.
Okay, Brittany gets to mess with her tablet settings, but that's okay because I need to look her up a reference anyway. I think we're going to start with Tuxedo Mask because out of the characters people keep asking if we have, Tuxedo Mask is probably like number one.
Maybe Chibi Usa.
And just because they're like, they're chibi badges. Where is Chibi Moon? And we're like, why are you here? This is not a British speaking place. Anyway.
Yeah, it's fun. There seems to be this unspoken game with certain people who visit us of, like, try to point out how many characters we don't have, regardless of if they want them or not. And we love it, and we love you, these people, but we are very well aware that our stock does have a finite limit. I find it fun and funny, and we do our best.
We are trying to. Okay, Brittany, you got to do him like with his cape out too. It's very important.
Like the half vampire he is.
Yes.
Jeez. Was Zero better?
Weren't you coming up with a story for Sailor Moon,
Oh
Emily?
yeah, I have a Sailor Moon story. Okay, so, sorry, I'm looking up a Tuxedo Mask reference for Brittany right now because we tried to get dual screen happening here and it did not. So that's a venture for next week. But so Sailor Moon was a series that came out when Andrew and I, and probably Brittany now that I think about it, and Brittany wasn't in the picture in my version of this story here, so I don't know. There's a reference for you. Okay, so when we were children, Sailor Moon was on TV and like had just come out when I was in kindergarten, I believe, and it was a big thing with a lot of the girls big thing with a lot of the girls in my grade, and they would roleplay Sailor Moon characters at recess, and like this was a group I had like the biggest crush. I said that really strangely. I had the biggest crush on I probably shouldn't say their name. We'll call them
Bethany.
girl number one.
Bethany and Cheeto.
Okay, Bethany Cheeto. That sounds so much less lame than what her real name was. Anyway, Bethany Cheeto, I had the hugest crush on, and she came up to me one day and was like, "Hey, Emily, you should play Sailor Moon with us. You would be the perfect Sailor Moon." And I was so, like, excited about this, because, like, Sailor Moon's the main character, you know, and I was never the main character in games, so I was, like, playing it up like, yeah, this is great. I'm cool, I'm legit, and, like, a month went by that I would play at recess with them like this, and one day I asked, because I found out, like, I saw a picture of Sailor Moon and found out she didn't have red hair. And, you know, kindergarten Emily, little baby Emily here, was like, why in the world did you think I would be a good Sailor Moon? I don't have red hair. I figured she had red hair, and she did not. And they told me it was because I was a stupid, klutzy idiot just like her. And I never played with them again.
Wow.
Emily, also tell them about how
Wow.
you beat up a child.
I'm not telling them how I beat up a child. It has nothing to do with Sailor Moon.
Also, real quick,
is a
is his
different
one
child.
arm longer than the other?
No, they're about the same.
They are about the same.
Okay, I have a hard time telling. Is that a byproduct of yeah,
Mikulio.
of taking his time to spanky his manky? Is that?
Why am I
Like,
not getting pressure?
I know
Head
the-
pressure.
I know the one arm can be beefier than the other. Does it get longer too? Like,
Oh,
some
okay.
teenage boy with like his
No, my
wrist
stapler-
dragging along the
stabilizer's fine,
ground.
It was just...
Oh, okay. Sorry, what?
No, it's not.
I was
It
just
is
wondering
now,
if
so I guess it's fine.
if one arm longer than the other could also be a byproduct from spanking the Mankey. You know, like teenage boy with just his right arm, like drooping along the ground.
Oh my gosh, shut up. This is a child show.
This is not a child show. I mean, Sailor Moon is, but... Also, any
Yes.
children who don't understand what Andrew meant by spanking the Mankey
Good
won't
for
be
you.
offended. So...
Yeah, I purposefully use a code. I'm somewhat tactful.
I meant
there's a
Sailor Moon's a child show, but...
That's true. Okay, there's a code for y'all for your bedroom use. Spanking the Mankey. Not even Spanky the Mankey.
Have you never ever heard the phrase to spanky one's Mankey?
No, I have
Oh.
not.
Well, hashtag only 90s kids understand.
I was a 90s kid, thank you.
Yes,
She
but
was born in 1992, by the
you
way.
were only there for like 2/3 of the 90s.
That's a good chunk of the 90s.
It's a good chunk,
You were
but
only there for 10
Cho-cho.
years of the 90s.
I missed out on a month and a half of the 90s. That was it.
Yeah, so you're not a real
snap.
90s kid.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Brittany has the least amount of 90s blood. She is just basically not even a 90s kid.
I was born at the tail end, and by that I mean like 4 months before, the end of 1993. I was almost 1994. Wow.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
Travis, leave
Really
me
just-
alone.
blasphemous. Brittany, don't
Yeah, with the names.
not with the names.
But yeah,
Brittany
good
just
times were had
politely
then.
asked for all the Tremors to leave her alone. We've seen too many Tremor movies, and she's just really sick of
okay.
horrific CG.
Can we just take a moment to talk about how stupid the movie Tremors was?
Oh, it was horrible. I loved
It was so
God, it
terrible
was,
and
like,
so
my
cheesy.
favorite movie.
Okay, so Brittany, just to illustrate a point, which I will then go on to explain to everyone else here. I literally had nightmares from Tremors for about a week.
Kidding me?
I saw it my freshman year of college.
Oh.
So, the
boy.
joke is, I am terrible with horror. I am literally the worst person you have ever seen when it comes to horror, because the scariest thing I saw growing up as a child aired on PBS. I have never once gone all the way through a haunted house. I have never once watched a scary movie all the way through. Like, I couldn't even watch other people playing Five Nights. I had to, do audio-only Markiplier listening to it, you know?
Yeah, we
It was-
actually, when Five Nights came out, we all took a night to try playing it because we were, super into
I
it
think
at
it was
the time.
my birthday, actually.
Was it your
birthday? It was like my
birthday?
20th
It was around
birthday.
there. Yeah, anyway, we decided to play Five Nights, and Andrew was the one, the oldest one, by the way, so it's Brittany and her friends, and they're all the youngins, you know? And, I'm feeling old there, and then I remember, my 25 at that time year old
No, it was
brother.
24.
I was 24.
24. Okay,
but-
my 24-year-old brother, he was the one in the corner, with his face in a pillow.
Now, mind you, most of my friends were 19 at the time.
Yeah, I would like to clarify, I was not sobbing openly into a pillow.
Yes,
I was
he
just
was.
purposefully distracting myself with my... I didn't have a smartphone at that point.
No, you didn't. You
No, I had a tablet or a Game Boy or something
You were,
going.
hugging a pillow, though. You were...
Yeah, I wanted nothing to do with it because I knew that if I were to watch it, I would scare myself sleepless for at least the next week. So we were at the Utah State Fair this past week, and I was like, you know what? I'm old enough now. I'm a man now. I can probably handle one of these. So we decided to try one of the haunted houses there. We made it maybe 20 seconds worth of walking into the haunted house before I was like, nope.
Nope.
Now, granted, all of us were pretty much Audi 9000 at this point, just because there were no lights, and it was all jump scares, and,
the thing
puffs
is-
of air on your ankles.
But it was crazy dark, but, there were these gaps in the walls that they didn't close off very well, so it was a mixture of, blinding sunlight and then immediate darkness right next to it. So you couldn't even see these things when they clanked at you. When they clanked, loudly. It was just loud things.
There was also the knowledge that somewhere in there were live actors,
That's true.
and
We
Yeah.
did not meet one. We didn't get that far.
No, we got...
we were Audi 9000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like literally 30 feet that we managed to make in. Now, that 30 feet did take us like 3 minutes to walk, but that's because you had to literally feel everything out, so it was like all textured weird and, yeah. So, long story short, I still cannot do horror. I love Halloween, just not for the scary part of Halloween. I like the
Or all
artsy and the
cute
craftsy
pumpkins
and pumpkin spice, because I'm so basic.
Yeah,
He
And,
is a basic white girl, really.
really.
I really am.
Yeah, so, here is the story of the scariest thing Andrew and I saw growing up. Okay, that show on PBS he was telling you about, I'm just gonna leave it open in the comments for a second here. Did anyone else watch Ghost Writer on PBS?
Ghost Writer, not Rider, starring Nicolas Cage in what can only be described as one of the best
best
and
movies.
most accurate casting choices.
Okay, so I'm gonna wait to see if anyone remembers Ghost Rider in the comments. So when we get to that point, let me know, and then we'll talk
there'll
about
be like
that.
a 2-minute silence.
No, we won't be silent. We'll just talk about
We'll
Halloween,
loop back
guys.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually going to have Halloween, all three of us, like without a convention, Halloween day, at home. We're going to be able to
so-
have a party.
Now
It'll be good.
I'm going to tell you though. We have what is it?
We have two conventions.
2 conventions that end on October 30th. Andrew and I are going to drive home that night from Oregon, which is 11 hours from here. So we can be home for Halloween. And we're flying Emily the day after her, or the day of her convention, also on the 30th when hers ends.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
So we can all be here for Halloween. Because we haven't had a holiday together since Christmas last year, I think. Where we haven't been working at a convention.
Oh, that's true. Like all the other all the conventions this year,
Isn't
we
it
made
Yeah.
it.
like your birthday?
But we had to leave the day after.
Yeah, so it wasn't really
Yeah.
time off.
But either way, so it looks like we do have at least a couple people who remember Ghost Rider.
Oh, you do, you poor people. Okay,
Not everyone, though. So,
okay, so,
go ahead and explain.
okay. Ghost Rider was a show on PBS, the station that the poor kids can still get because it's free. Woo! With
What
like
was that?
Arthur, I don't know, it's
Why
free.
did you do that?
Yeah, that's why. Okay, so it's free, yay! Everyone can get shows like Arthur and Cyber Chase, which are great, and then you also get shows like Ghost Rider, which are about what was Ghost Rider about? Jeez. Okay, so it was about a group of very ethnically diverse children who wanted to solve mysteries and did so with the help of the ghost of a dead slave, I think, who was trying to get them to find his body so that he could finally move on to the afterlife, but in doing that, he was also trying to, help them with, someone stole my lunchbox, where was it? And, the way he could communicate with them was, 20 words every day he could, write out on a wall somewhere. So they're all asking him, so, who are you exactly? And he's died in 1922. And we're that means nothing to me, Ghost Rider. What? I'm a freaking 8-year-old watching this. Anyway, the scariest part of this show was an arc about a character named Gooey Gus. Brittany, you should pull up a picture of Gooey Gus just for let me describe this first, and then they can see this. Okay, Gooey Gus was a fictional character made up by the 5-year-old on the show to try to win a horror competition. Okay, so this is a 5-year-old on a fictional show for children telling a horror story about a slime monster who actually legitimately killed and ate one of her friends. Look at a picture of this guy. You see that thing? Do you see Gooey Gus? Zoom in on Gooey Gus's disgusting face. That is the stuff of nightmares that you do not put in a children's show. Look at him. And he spit out slime that you would stick to and could never get unstuck from. And then he would turn into a massive adult wearing that mask and strangle children.
He was pretty horrifying.
It was kind of messed up. Although, to be real here, if memory serves, Emily and Brittany have seen this sooner or more recently than I have, but the only way that the toy came to life was you had to, like, boil it.
Yes.
And yet people still did it. Like, I mean, I can understand some of the horror ones where it's like, hey, come to life again if he's struck by lightning. And, you know, that's pretty happenstantial. But, man, there is quite the thin veneer of causality in which someone boils a child's toy.
Words.
Thank
Good
you.
words.
If I'm not mistaken, the toy itself was, like, alive and cursed and knew that it would come to life if it was boiled and, like, jumped into a pot of boiling water. I don't know. I just remember having nightmares about this thing. Like, I had for about a year when I was, again, like, 8 years old. Just this recurring nightmare where I would be just, like, playing in the playroom with my Duplos and... I would open up a box, and when I did, Gooey Gus was, like, in it, but opening the box was what made him turn into an adult, so, like, adult Gooey Gus would, like, jump out at me, and I would wake up, probably screaming. It was not a good show for children.
No, it was not.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Yeah.
It's not even close to Halloween.
Not even close. We'll come up with some Halloween something or other.
Oh, we'll have
Maybe.
a Halloween special thing.
Yep. It will be 2 hours of us singing along to Spooky Scary Skeletons.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
No,
And
we
not
can
even
do
the
that
fun
now.
remix,
Save
like the old
original.
one. The one on, like, what would nowadays be the dollar store, like, CD holiday party music.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Wasn't it in, like, a Disney cartoon? Or Disney, yes?
No, I think it was, maybe, I don't know. We might look into it. I would make promises, but I
Yeah.
honestly don't know as if we will. We have a lot going on. I don't know as if I have time to be getting the full,
Backstory.
history and backstory of spooky, scary skeletons. Silly as can be.
How many people do we got with us?
So,
Right.
yep, good times. Good times abound. I do enjoy spooky, scary skeletons, though. That is, like, the song. We were actually talking about this. Was it last night?
Last night we listened to it, yes.
Yes, we listened to it.
We're a little pumped for Halloween.
Yep,
So excited
but,
for
like,
Halloween.
that is the song of Halloween. And, Emily, would you like to share the story behind the song of Christmas?
Okay, last year at Christmas, 'twas a sad time for poor Brittany, who was just so stressed and overworked and just wasn't feeling the spirit of Christmas, So it's like, it's Christmas, Adam.
It's Christmas Eve.
Oh, was it Christmas
Yeah, we were
Eve?
on the way to my
gee.
mom's house.
Okay, we are on the way to the parents' house for Christmas Eve dinner, and Brittany is sad that she is not feeling the spirit of Christmas. And I'm, like, racking my brain, like, what have I not done to try to get Christmas going for her, I gotta do something to ignite this in her. And as I'm thinking this, going through Tumblr, and I see it, and I'm like, okay, Brittany, this is...
I thought it was Andrew's idea.
Yeah, no.
Was it Andrew's idea?
It was
Yeah,
Andrew's idea.
I had come
good.
across it before somehow. I can't even remember how. It was one of my
Because
YouTube
the
links of a
thing.
link of a link of a link of a link. And I was
Good.
like, well, I could show you guys the Christmas song I found.
Good.
I
I know I've seen it on Tumblr, but it's, yeah.
Yeah, so what was the song that finally got the Christmas spirit? It was none other than a mashup of two of the most holiday-ish songs ever. Let It Go and Space Jam.
Let It Slam, which if you have not seen, please look it up right now. The Photoshop is just top notch.
100% best quality.
But it's so Christmassy. I don't know what it is about putting that beat to Let It Go, but it's like I am
like
so excited for
Christmas.
Santa right now. Yeah. It was a good time. So now whenever we're like, you in a sad mood, Brittany? Come on and slam.
And welcome to the jam. Man, I really hope they don't mess up the second one with, what is it? Shaquille O'Neal, is it? Yeah, I believe it's
I
Shaq.
thought you were talking about the second Frozen.
Elsa and Anna's long-lost brother? sister. She...
So it's like constantly breaking up their composition on their screen because he's just like to himself.
He's always like 20 feet in the background.
Hey guys!
Has a megaphone the whole movie.
Don't be sad, Elsa.
Wow, that is I now have incredibly high hopes for Frozen 2.
I know, man. I'd heard some fan theories on what they were gonna do, but nothing beats that.
Oh man, that is
Jeez.
easily the best. But no, Shaquille O'Neal is going to be in the. I believe it is. I could be entirely wrong. You know, basketball junkie that I am. But I believe that he is replacing the incredible acting talent of Michael Jordan in Space Jam 2.
Honestly, that would make my life.
It was.
I believe that's what's happening.
I believe so.
I can look it up.
We'll see how it's gonna go down, but I don't know how I feel about Shaq here. Although he did kickstart what was it? Shaq's Revenge or something like that.
Yep.
So
Oh my gosh. I'm going to marry Shaq.
so yeah, it looks like we're getting a good heaping helping of Shaq in the future here.
Completely different topic, but not really. If I'm not mistaken, they're remaking DuckTales, aren't they?
DuckTales.
I believe so. Yeah. Just real quick, I do have to ask if you think that Shaq's lover sings Love Shack a lot.
Shut up, Andrew. Okay, and there is Tuxedo Mask.
Yay, Tuxedo Mask. No.
Tuxedo Mask, no!
No, not to know. Please don't go.
We
We
have
love a lot
fun
of
here.
memes.
we are such the meme lords.
We really
But
are.
there is Tuxedo Mask, which means we are moving on to Chibi Moon. Oh, we should probably explain what I'm going to be doing, huh?
Yeah, we'll do that while Brittany's getting set up with Chibiusa here.
Okay. By the way, they don't know who's going to be starring in Space Jam 2 yet.
I think it's gonna have to be.
I really hope it's Shaq.
I really hope it's like Ego Raptor.
Doesn't she have a sailor outfit there? She is.
Yeah, she does.
Okay. So I want to do the sailor outfit.
Do it. Just do it, Brittany.
Just do it.
So just a quick reminder, we haven't talked about it in a while. We'll talk about Kickstarter here real quick, because that's something I've been working on quite a bit.
Non-stop, yeah.
Pretty much non-stop. Our video for the Kickstarter, which I hope you guys will enjoy. We threw in a lot of nerdy references. Been doing some good work on it. So hopefully that'll pay off, because I was burning the 4 a.m. oil last night.
Why do you do that, Andrew?
Because
you go to bed at like midnight and then you're up until all hours of the night.
I know. It's because I get like in a good work groove and I don't want it to end. Like, I want to keep that steam going. Because, you know, there's sometimes, you know, when you're trying to do something creative, the juices just aren't flowing.
Yeah.
So when things are going, which usually unfortunately ends up being when I should have been asleep 2 hours ago, I really don't want to stop and have to like actually force myself to do so.
Am I not using the right tool?
So, anyways, but so the story with these badges, again, the badges are going to be available at first to our Kickstarters. So they will eventually join our full repertoire, but they are designed to be as acrylic badges and acrylic badges only, meaning those who back on the Kickstarter get first dibs on the first run of these guys. And then what Emily will be doing later today, every fourth week?
I think it's third, I don't know.
Third or fourth week, we're sticklers for details here.
Of course.
But
It's
we
the
have
third
it mapped
week.
out.
This is the third one we've done.
No, this is the fourth one.
No, this is the third.
The third one that you've done. Remember, the first week...
No, I've only done
so
two.
no, Full Metal Alchemist.
Then Future Diary was last week.
Yeah, so
and
that's
this.
3. No, Future Diary and then...
And then Pokemon?
Oh, no,
Was
that
the
was
same
the same
week.
week.
Was it the same? Okay.
think
So
you're
yeah,
right.
every third week. Every X number week. we will be drawing a wallpaper as well. We're going to be making them in full 4K resolution, as well as, the smaller resolutions for those who, like us, who haven't upgraded to 4K yet. But those are wallpapers that will be available to all of our backers. So even if you pledge $1, you get, 3-4 wallpapers in up to 4K resolution, just as a small thank you. So, yeah, fun stuff. And we get to do the first one of those here today.
Yay! So that's what I will be drawing. It'll be an hour of one big picture that's a little more detailed than the badges. Very quickly, though, I was looking up if DuckTales 2 was a thing, or the remake, and I haven't found any conclusive evidence on it. I believe it's coming out in 2017. I don't know for sure. What I did find out, though, is that Webby's full name
Wubby.
is Webigail Wanderquack.
I'm going to kill myself.
Webigail Wanderquack.
Emily, I have just found the names for child 1 and 2 of you.
Oh, of mine?
Oh, of yours. Please.
Webigail and Wanderquack.
Yep. Webigail, Wanderquack. Waddle on over here. Right now.
And everyone's gonna be like, do they have like a lisp? What's that supposed to be? Like Rabigail? Randiquack?
Oh, that is magical.
I'm trying to figure out this pose.
You know what else is magic? Friendship.
It is. Twoily.
Twoily.
That is not how legs work.
Isn't it?
Oh.
You didn't get to see it. Just watch the thing.
Will.
Just wait for it. Just wait. Oh my goodness. What a leg.
Shut up,
Man,
Emily.
if I had a nickel for every time I heard that. Whoa! Those are not how legs. Whoa! Whoa!
She's like the folding up before she's like, you know what? They're probably not though.
I hate it when
She looks adorable.
I put a high heel on my stump leg.
Andrew! You don't know her and her stump leg, okay?
Don't talk to me.
Or my stump leg again.
Yeah.
Or my stump leg, or my stump leg, or my... it's just peg legs all the way down. It looks like a collapsible telescope.
Wow.
Why's she... The reference...
Why wouldn't she be? Jeez.
Why do these anime characters have to make my job so hard? Do they think that they can get away with this?
These are iconic because they're ridiculous.
Yeah?
I guess.
I mean, if it was boring, you wouldn't be watching it.
It's true.
Speaking somewhat nothing of which, Emily and Brittany have finally started watching Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works in preparation for next week's characters.
Oh, are we allowed to talk about our feelings on this? I'm sure it's a great series. We've seen the first 2 episodes, and then skipped to episode 7 to see if it picked up, and it did not. And then decided instead to watch Bo Burnham.
Oh, Bo.
Oh, Bo.
Yep.
So yeah, that is our Fate Stay Night.
Yeah, I'll be keeping them on the straight and narrow. I did watch the original Fate Stay Night, and I did see Unlimited Blade Works. I haven't seen Fate Zero yet. That's on my to-watch list at some point. One thing to know about Emily and Brittany is they're not huge on the action. They like a little bit more of a psychological anime. So things like, Madoka, or Steins Gate, things that have some action, but it's more focused on the psychological. And Brittany really doesn't care much for the mushy romance ones too much either. I kind of would. It's actually, to be honest, that's probably a little more my realm than anything, because I'll just devour the mangas of those. Speaking of which,
You're so sappy.
I am. Well, no, seriously though,
That's why we love him though. That's why we keep him around.
Yep, that is why it is not for any of my artistic or video or audio editing skills.
Or just because we like hanging out with you.
Yeah, no, nothing like that. No personality, anything. It is just that I enjoy a good sappy romance.
Yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, I've been reading Nisekoi. I am about 150 chapters in, and I've been reading it for like a week and a half, I think.
Jeez,
A
you
week,
read
week and a
manga
half.
So fast.
I do. I enjoy being able to get manga on my phone. And nothing pisses me off more than an unfinished story. So I'm really happy to be heading towards what I know will be a conclusion at the very least.
That's true. I don't know. Is it worse when a series doesn't end or when it has a bad ending?
It doesn't end. I think
when
it's
it doesn't
worse when
end.
it doesn't end.
Yeah.
I think so, really.
Yeah.
You don't... Well, let me think of a good example of
Well-
an anime that's done this.
So here is what, while you're thinking of that, I'll just weigh my 2 cents in here. One thing that we'll often talk about is it's so much easier to critique and work off of something than it is to come up with something yourself. For example, with working with the Kickstarter, we had just been sitting there trying to talk through all of the details without writing any of them down, and it was going nowhere. So we were just like, okay, Emily, take what we've generally talked about, come up with a plan, and we'll critique and criticize from there. And that's how we were able to get some
She's got
traction
Levi
in there.
hair right now, just as a side note.
No, she is.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
So sometimes it's a lot easier to just get something out, even if you know it's bad, because then you'll be able to see what to improve. So translating that into a series ending, I think it's a lot better to have a bad ending than no ending, because it's so much easier to imagine the kind of ending that you wanted, if you've seen an ending that you didn't want, as opposed to just the mysteries being left wide open.
More than the mysteries being left wide open, though, just the world and the characters being left open. Like, have either of you read or seen Cross Anima?
I have not.
Okay, well, that one left it very open with, like, basically the entire storyline was just learning why the characters are how they are and setting up how they get along together. And then it left with an open-ended, and they'll probably have adventures. So it left it just completely open to anything could happen at this point. They could end up happy, they could end up sad. It doesn't really matter. All you need to know is that they exist. And I kind of appreciated that just for a change of pace, just to have what I considered a decent ending in the fact that we didn't need it to end.
I suppose, but at the same time, that's the kind of stuff that pisses me off. Like, I played Okami Den because I was a
I
sucker
hate
for the
myself.
first Okami, and I was hoping for some semblance in there, in more than just reused, downgraded sprites. But, no, that was like the biggest slap in the face, because it kind of had a story, and it kind of played off the first one a little bit, but it literally ended with, but this was just the prologue. The real story was just getting started. And that was it. And I hated it, and it was stupid. I'm sorry, a story has a beginning because it expects an end. A story that's undeserving of an ending is not a story that should really exist for the most part, I don't think. Yeah, you can argue it's more about the journey than about the end, but few shows are out there just for the journey. For example, some of your more slice of life, like, I wasn't expecting a good finite conclusion to Nichijou, which is an amazing show if you haven't seen it. But while I wasn't expecting a great end to it, even though it did have a decent end to it, it's not something that's about the end. It's about the day-to-day. That's the whole point. It's called Nichijou, which is, there's your Japanese lesson for the day. Nichijou literally means like the everyday, the normal, the day-to-day. With Nichi being day and Jo being like a routine. Or something. It's like an action sort of a thing. So anyways, that's what it was about. But these stories that are more about, a grand quest or an adventure, they're started with the intention of ending. So if they don't reach their intended ending, I can't help but feel that they're a little bit hollow, you know what I mean?
Okay, I have the ultimate example for you, though, on when that's done right, and that is Pokemon. Pokemon is left with the perfect, this is an adventure, this is the end of an arc, it will clearly continue, but if a new season wasn't made, or if you don't watch the next season, you're left with just as much to go on. It does a very good job of continuing where it wants to and leaving off where it knows it's explored what it can.
You guys are such nerds.
I agree. I can't help but feel, though, like some of these shows that you don't get a conclusive ending in, it's like, well, yes, the journey was fun. Again, it didn't
True. I'm not
complete what it meant
saying
to
I
do.
always like it. I'm just saying I would prefer it to if Pokemon had a very bad ending and just ended on season 1.
But again, Pokemon's about the journey. Pokemon isn't about the storyline.
Yes,
I-
that's true.
Yes, Ash technically set out to, catch them all, but he just set out to have an adventure. Like, what would the ending of Pokemon even be?
Well,
He
that's
caught
why
them all?
that's why you wouldn't want an ending. A lot of animes have a very conclusive "this is it, this is the end" ending, and they had just as much a storyline as Ash did when they started out.
True enough. But, again, that's because there was an ending to reach. In Pokemon, there's not really an ending to reach. I mean, unless you want to go into some of the fan theories of, Red standing on Mount Silver and all of that. But
It's not really a fan theory; it's more following the game. But
it is more following the game. But yeah, basically Ash could follow the route of the game. But even then, there's no big storyline to Pokemon. It's their people living in the world of Pokemon. That's it. Now, if you were looking at like Pokemon Origins or Pokemon Generations, those are very different. Those aren't meant to be about, the fun of the journey. The journey is leading to a destination. If those just trailed off into nothingness, then it would be stupid.
yeah.
To me, the things that are working towards an ending and never get there, it's like, food that you never get to eat. Sure, it can look beautiful. It could smell delicious. It could be, fulfilling all those other roles. The journey there is looking great, but you never reach that destination. And just like it, it'll leave you empty and unsatisfied, I feel.
Yeah, I can see that, but at the same time, I still would prefer something that's left more open-ended than something that has just the worst ending in the world. You know?
Possibly. I will see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see about your
Yeah.
opinion changing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. I'll show you something that'll change your mind, and then you'll be like, what is this?
True enough. I don't know. A lot of authors, though, they do try to create stuff that, you're not supposed to be able to guess. There's these mysteries, whatnot. Like, how would you feel, like, let's pretend Madoka Magica had a terrible ending, but at least you got to know, like, Homoda's...
Pretend.
Yeah, let's pretend for just a moment. But,
She's adorable.
what if you never got any
sure
of,
you will erase that
Homoda's
part later.
backstory? What if you never understood about how that universe worked? And it was just left open-ended for your interpretation. You just sit there and wonder why, and know I mean, even with a bad ending, you can still at least feel like the mysteries were solved. You may not like
Unless
how,
it's a
but you get the
bad ending.
answers.
Unless it's the type of bad ending where it's like, and what was the mystery solved? I don't know.
Okay, yeah. But I would argue then that it never reached its ending that it intended to.
But that's what I'm talking about, is a bad ending. I'm talking about an ending that leaves it open-ended accidentally by not actually finishing up what it was trying to do.
So you're talking like Golden Sun, Dark Dawn?
Maybe.
Okay. That is different, though, because that story never ended. The story ended, but it didn't finish. I would say is the difference. And yeah, if we're going to talk about that, then yeah, I'd rather, end on a high note.
Or just stay open-ended instead of saying, then this is it. That's all you get.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of a rushed ending.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm saying, is that an open-ended ending is better than a rushed ending.
I guess
Like,
that makes sense.
Brittany and I were watching a show. If any of you guys, this is not anime, so Andrew probably has not seen it, but The United States of Terra, which was about a woman with multiple personalities ruining her family's life and them trying to figure out how to deal with that. And it was
Really good.
it was partially really good and really awful. So, like, anything about Terra, about the main character, was amazing. The actress who played her was phenomenal. I mean, she had these very subtle changes in, like, expression and movement where you could tell exactly which personality she was taking at any given time. And it was just wonderful to watch her.
Guys,
But
my
it
pen's dying.
it
Will you go
cluttered...
get me
Oh,
the
yeah, do you want to go
charger?
get the...
I don't know what it looks like, but
Okay.
yeah.
It's a USB with, like, a kind of, like, a aux-looking cord on the end.
I'll pretend I'll find it.
Okay. Andrew's going to go get a cord. But, United States of Terra, it tried to put in, I think, more not mini subplots. than I think it needed, because it had like subplots about both of her kids and like the stuff going on with her husband, and then all the subplots about her and her personalities, and really all we needed for it to be interesting was her and her personalities. And they honestly didn't know how to handle the teenage daughter, I think, because like half the time she was doing teenage things and the other half she was doing like way too adult things for like what was established as a 15-year-old at the beginning of the series. Yeah. So if you want to check it out, very cool, very worth it just to see the main actress, who I wish I knew actors and actresses' names so I could give her the proper credit, but yes, that's it.
Yeah.
But her portrayal was absolutely phenomenal. But
I'm gonna put this in, actually.
it was canceled prematurely, and they didn't have the time to do the lead up they wanted to the ending of this show, which was all about her confronting her inner demons and the things that had happened in her life to split her personalities to begin with, and accepting her different personalities for who they were and incorporating them into herself, which is a very long, drawn-out process that should have been handled over seasons. And the season that it ended, they were beginning to go into that, but instead of leaving... Well, yeah, they got canceled, but they knew they were canceled mid-season, so instead of leaving it open-ended with, will she ever get better, we don't know, this is just how she lives, they completely rushed through, oh, really quickly, let's introduce the villain character and have her deal with him, like, incredibly quickly and not actually spend the time we need to getting all of this development going, and left with what was a very, very unsatisfying ending that I feel would have been better if it had just left it with not even trying to delve into her backstory, because giving us a bit of that and then doing so poorly with it just made us want something that we couldn't ever have. And I think it would have been much better to just leave us with the material they had and could have worked with in the time they had left and give us a better half ending than a rushed full ending.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. But at the same time, I haven't seen the show, obviously. Were there, like, mysteries that, was trying to be figured out?
Yeah, it was
like,
all about
how she got the...
Yeah, it was her learning about, like, I think her stepbrother had abused her when she was, like, 3 or something, and her figuring that out and coming to terms with it and facing her inner demons, literally, because she had multiple personalities. Her inner demons became new personalities that were trying to attack and physically kill her.
Huh,
so,
interesting.
It was a really cool concept, but because they gave you that really cool, like, taste of that concept and then, like, just really, really rushed through it and gave it none of the time it needed to be emotionally impactful, it just made the entire series have a bit of a bittersweet taste to it.
I mean, I guess I can understand and respect that. And I think what I was trying to say is, I would still have that over no answers, though.
I think I would have rather they just kept it, but maybe that's just the difference between us, because when Andrew watches shows, he does it, correct me if I'm wrong here, but you watch more for individual characters and how they stand out in, in the world that they're given, and then overarching storyline and how that works with the way the story's presented.
That sounds roughly correct, yeah.
The thing I look for most is relationships between characters and how character development ties into plot. And then Brittany likes the artistic aspects of shows with a good mixture of... I don't know, what else do you like in shows, Brittany, besides just how pretty they look?
Music, good characters. I like character development.
Okay, so Brittany's also Brittany's like a mixture of Andrew and I with a bunch of really caring about how it's presented, how the world looks, what the camera angles are, and stuff like that.
Yeah, we all have our own things that we look for in a show.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I am happy to watch just action garbage.
Oh,
I'm not the happiest.
Like, the series Sengoku Basara, I loved and thought was hilarious just because it was so over the top and I adored.
Is that the one with the guy with his horses?
Yes.
I would probably enjoy that just for how ridiculous it is, but I wouldn't enjoy it to the level that I enjoyed something like Psycho-Pass or Madoka Magica.
Neat. Which, I mean, I do enjoy psychological as well, but there are some things that will enjoy more than the other people, and for different reasons as well. Like, one of the reasons that I enjoy a lot of the more romance ones is I do also find them funny just in some of their tropes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So many tropes.
Well, you really like your tropes because you have a good, solid foundation of what the culture's actually like and what those tropes, like, you understand them better than we do. You know, I guess because to Brittany and
so.
I,
hate tropes.
I know. Well, to you and me, a lot of them are just random, stupid things that all animes do. But to Japanese or people who understand the Japanese culture, it's a cultural thing that you get like on a different emotional level because you understand what that culture's like and why that's a trope.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. I mean, things like, the Culture Festival. While I haven't participated in one, I understand a lot more of what that's about, I guess. And as such, it carries a lot more, I guess, emotional weight and whatnot. Because, I mean, I've talked to and been friends with dozens of, high schoolers and, college people of all ages. And getting to learn about their culture, their life, and how they affect them. I don't know. It's a lot more complete of a picture. It's the additional insight can be helpful. But I also love just mocking a good trope. Like, I love Nisekoi. I've been very much enjoying the show, but every single chapter ends with like one of the girls doing like something daring and being like, could this move the plot forwards? And then the next chapter, it's like dismissed in 3 frames. Like, it'll end with, her being like, but I really would have been happy if it was you that got to be my boyfriend. And he's like, what? And she's like, did he hear that? Will this move the plot forwards? And then, like, next chapter, it's like, I could have sworn that I heard you say something about me and boyfriend. It's like, no, that's silly. I would never say something like that. Wow, she sure is acting weird. Anyways, this week's plot. Yeah, stuff like that I find funny.
I really enjoy when there are tropes set up and then they just smash them into the ground. One of the best recent ones for that was 7 Deadly Sins, where... Oh my gosh, Meliodas was amazing with his trope smashing everywhere. Like, oh geez, what would he say? He'd say something like, oh yeah, we'll have to like travel through this jungle. It's like full of cannibals, and they're like, wait, you serious? And he's like, no.
Yeah.
I loved Meliodas. He was
Meliodas
amazing.
was fantastic for that. Also, well, no, that's spoilers. We'll avoid those.
What's spoilers about?
The ending and possibly the biggest trope smasher I had seen.
Oh yeah, no, you can't say that. That's,
no, I can't.
That's spoilers, Vegeta.
But for those of you who have watched it, hopefully you'll know what I'm talking about. If not,
We'll leave that very cryptic. Yeah.
Send me a message.
Yeah.
I'll explain it to you.
Comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
Find me in person and just ask.
Like gunpoint ask, like, what do you mean about 7 Deadly Sins?
I was making it up. I needed witty banter.
Yep. Speaking of which, sorry if that got a little too real. I don't know if you guys are into... that's kind of how Andrew and I work through things, though, is we are very much into our Socratic debate, because we're that type of nerd.
We definitely are.
They are so crazy nerdy.
We have
I'm not.
No.
It's true.
Just over there drawing chibi moon, you not nerd.
We will, though. Like, we've had many talks of, the merits and the demerits of Ruby or Adventure Time or
Ruby.
My Little Pony.
Oh, no offense. I really do not like Ruby. It was not my favorite show.
Yeah, Brittany didn't care for Ruby. Emily was aight with Ruby. I really enjoyed Ruby.
Because he's a weeb.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. That's me 100%. Trigun girl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know how old that stuff is?
You know...
Trigun and Cowboy Bebop are awesome, though.
Full Metal
Okay.
Alchemist, Brittany. Just think about how much you are into Full Metal Alchemist right now.
Like,
It's a curse.
even the original one.
I know, I still like it.
I haven't seen it. Maybe I should see it at some point so I can see what people are talking about. I've had conversations, like, growing up with Andrew about, like, what is this about Dante? I still don't know what is up with Dante. I just know that I have, like, this sour taste in my mouth when I say it.
It was...
Chibi USA!
Something.
USA! USA football! That's a good name for her.
Yes. That is her full name.
Yeah. Y'all thought it was USA.
You thought it was Weberly Webbington or whatever in the world it was. I forgot.
Wanderquack.
Okay,
yeah,
what are we
Wanderquick,
at?
that's
5
right.
minutes.
Wander-
I cannot
Wander.
do another badge in that time. Emily, go ahead.
Brittany, 5-minute badge, go!
It's
No.
Luna. You can do it.
You want me to take the time and do Luna?
Yeah, because I think.
Okay, find me
It'll-
Luna,
Luna
please.
will be...
Okay,
Luna will
so
be quick.
we're not expecting
Start with
me
the
to
cat
be
base.
able to finish, by the way, with the I don't think we have a cat base, but we're
Oh,
not
I can draw one.
expecting for me to be able to finish the wallpaper during one session. So we're just gonna try to get as far as we can get, I guess.
That'll be a
Haven't
nice
done one of these
surprise.
yet, so Luna Sailor Moon. Yes, the internet works. Okay, there you go.
Boom,
Look
Luna.
look at the shoujo eyes on that cat.
I know, that cat's
That
got
cat
some-
is like
That
a
is-
Pokemon, and she's got like Bulbasaur eyes.
Can you imagine
Oh,
what that would
so
look
hard.
like,
I think
in
it's
real
Charmander
life
eyes.
on a cat? Like those massive of eyes.
Like, meow.
And then it, of course, speaks in the voice of, like, Miss Frizzle.
Miss Frizzle? It doesn't sound like Miss Frizzle.
I was going for an older woman. It was the first one that came to mind.
Not the one from, what is that, Tales of the Abyss? That's like, mew mew.
Oh, dearie me, the Mew Elder. No.
Mew Elder was just the best thing.
We'll subject Brittany to it at some point. My goal is to get Brittany in more,
Tells of
More-
besides just Zesteria.
and specifically more tales of OTPs. Than just,
So, okay, every time, so we do this thing where we save things for each other on Tumblr and go through and, like, make a blog for each other because we think we're funny, right? By using other people's jokes. Well, whenever it's mine, we scroll through, like, a ton of Saray X Mikleo fanfic. And
fan pics.
And fanfics. And Andrew always just, like, gives me this look, and I feel so shamed.
I don't shame her. I fully support her. But I can't deny that it's funny. And I know that even without making that face, Brittany will just scroll through it as fast as she can, going, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
I think Brittany drew you as a cat.
I did.
Oh, good. Good. That's
It's got
the
a
best.
rat tail. It looked like a chihuahua, Brittany.
That is me, yep.
By the way, we are using our touch screen stylus draw on this thing. How is
Draw
that
on the
called?
screen.
Okay, our draw on the screen stylus thing. How do you what are the words for this? We're not using like a tablet. We're using like one of the monitors that you can draw on. So it's going a little faster. But also Brittany's just messing around way too much. Oh my gosh. What a masterpiece that was.
Just the best.
Yeah.
Around.
So-
Nobody gonna bring me down?
It's gonna take me a little bit to get used to that when I start working on the wallpaper, because I've never used this thing or anything like it.
So this will be interesting.
Look, Andrew. It will be an adventure.
What is that salamander making a finger gun?
I think it was kind of like a Sonic pose. Like, yeah!
No,
We
he was
pass
trying
cool.
to. The Luna was trying to attract
Speeds
all the
by.
ladies.
Isn't Luna a female?
I think so. I don't know.
Can I just take this moment to tell everyone how excited I am to have this Luna and the Luna from My Little Pony, and also to have Shiro from Dead Man Wonderland and Shiro from Fate's Day when we draw that next week.
I should also add in here, we probably need to do Luna Lovegood at some point.
Oh, jeez, okay. So make that 3 Lunas, and Rin from Fate's Day Unlimited Blades Work, or
Because
Rin.
everyone knows we don't have enough Rin.
Yeah, that will be our 5th Rin. We will have Fate's Day Night Rin, Blue Exorcist, Vocaloid,
And Love Live.
Free, and Love Live. Yeah, so we have 2 singing Rins, one that catches on fire.
One that... 2 singing,
Three.
1 swimming, 1 fire, 1...
One kinky.
Yeah. She does go by Tosaka, though, I believe.
does she?
Yeah, so we should be able to call her Tosaka.
That would be better.
It doesn't mean other people will.
I'm pretty sure other people call it. Those of you who have seen Fate's Day, leave in the chat, the comments, the whatever, whether you refer to Tosaka Rin as Tosaka or Rin.
Or Rin. I think they did say Rin in the anime in English.
Rin, however you weeb trash.
You got this, Brittany.
I didn't think that this body would be so hard.
Okay, hear me out, Brittany.
But then you worked out. Get it?
Okay, do
Yeah, I got it,
layer.
Andrew.
Draw a gourd, and then give it feet. That's how you draw cats. Yeah, now give it feet.
No, I want it to do a certain pose.
Okay, then do the pose. Yeah.
Bad news. It looks like people mostly call her Rin.
No!
Told you.
Curse you guys. Could this be at all due to the fact that we brought up we didn't want her to be called Rain?
I doubt it, but it's possible.
Okay.
There, see, I got a body.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay, go
I'm
Brittany.
so glad you finally possessed
Girl, look at that
someone.
body. I'm glad that we went different ways, but with the same objective of, like, lightly harassing Brittany.
Yeah.
A light harassment.
Yes.
Lightly harass your Brittany for 20 minutes a day.
Good. Add water.
Good.
Okay.
With Brittany.
Please.
Did it. Don't forget that crescent on the forehead. Make it a croissant.
Make it a croissant, please. We'll call her Luna.
There you go.
This is gonna learn you some stuff.
Oh, good. This is the best. This is
Look
literally
at-
the best
look at
thing
it
that's ever
happen.
happened. Oh, man.
What that cat could be in
Oh.
Homestuck.
Wow. It could. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we need to stop reacting to things on the stream time
Yeah.
and react to them on Brittany time. So, just so you guys know, Andrew and I cannot see Brittany's screen. We tried to get dual monitor set up so we could see it, but we cannot. So we're seeing it in the time you guys are seeing it, which is about like 10 seconds after it's actually happening. So we're reacting twice to everything.
Yep. So, apologies if we're relaying late. It's because we're time wizards. No, as we do.
No, do not give her.
So, yep, best
Brittany,
things
what
ever.
did you do? No.
Good job, Brittany. Give her a cat. You know how to make a cat mouth.
Everyone knows how to make a cat mouth. Have you never texted someone who uses like the :3 face?
Yeah, it. :3, make a tongue, Dunskies. So,
You're
that's
talking
about all
too
it
loud.
takes.
But it's cute though.
It is cute.
She's adorable. I love her. I'm adopting this cat. Sorry, Brittany. I know you're like deadly allergic to cats, but
I didn't realize I was deadly allergic to cats. I
Are
thought I
you?
was slightly allergic.
oh, I thought you were deadly allergic.
No, I thought I was
And
slightly.
why don't we have a cat? If you could just deal with it this whole time.
That makes my eyes water. And also, we can't have cats here.
Oh yeah.
Dang, renting
Fine.
houses.
I know.
Yeah. Like you're renting a whole house.
I know.
Dang,
Shut up.
renting a basement right now. You are looking to upgrade, but
It's still got 2 bedrooms.
It does,
don't get me
yeah.
wrong. It is a spacious basement. Well,
good-
comparatively.
Yeah. It's not
Also,
bad.
comparatively, not as spacious as what our new workspace will be.
Oh, that will be
Yeah, I think
wonderful.
our new workspace is bigger than my entire house.
Yeah. So by the way, if you guys can hear the constant whirring in the background, that's because we are all in one tiny insulated room in a basement apartment in the middle of summer without an air
I
conditioning
didn't realize
unit.
that the tail end of September was the middle of summer.
It's still summer. It's hot. It was hot today. And
we
have
2
no
more days of summer.
Okay, whatever. We have no air conditioning unit, so we have 2 fans going in this tiny room that we are all crammed in
All
to try
three
to
of us in.
talk in this little microphone.
With Yeah, 2 computers running and the tablet and all the stuff. Yeah. It's toasty.
Very hot in here.
Yes, it is. I can leave if that helps.
It's getting hot in here.
So stop singing that song immediately. You know, like, I know that that's an okay song to sing, but there's still a part of me that, like, it's like, no, the Lord will hear you, sinner.
Well, I was thinking more, the live stream and not wanting to...
Oh, that's also true.
Wanting to keep things clean for the live streamers. Not that we don't think you guys are old enough to be able to take, it's getting hot in here lyrics. And by lyrics, I mean the second line
See, she looks kind of terrifying.
of the 2
She
lines
does.
that everyone
I'll
knows.
just leave it black.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh, my back hurts. Oh, I
you can do that afterwards. So, right?
Oh, White Eye's up in here. Okay.
Yeah.
See, they're reacting to it late.
Yeah. We'll try to get dual monitor set up. Apologies. All of my stuff is currently in storage. I have a new place that I'm moving into, and that will be our new updated workspace as well.
Yay.
But we don't get that until October 1st. So yeah, I didn't have the correct cord for my monitor, so we're gonna have to Amazon us one of those.
It'll be good.
Yeah, the best.
So I've got this website here because we kept running out of stuff to talk about during these. So I looked up just random conversation starters, and it turns out...
Wait, stop.
What?
Okay, so...
You didn't finish the through shading on her tail.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
No, that's on purpose, dude.
Right there?
Yeah, it's backlight. Do you think it looks stupid?
You never backlight anything. Doesn't fit stylistically. Also, there's that spot right there by your butt.
Okay, yeah, that one's a mistake.
When Emily said she looked up a conversation generator, she meant that she downloaded one to her brain. We wouldn't cheat a live stream and run out of topics. No, we got more creative.
Speaking of being creative, Andrew, what motivates you?
Emily, are you...
Wait. Okay. Fuck you. Whoops.
Good.
Just so you know, Brittany and I bicker, and we don't actually, get mad at each other. We just, I don't know, we learned one day that we're both okay with us just screaming at each other, and then we immediately get over with it.
Okay.
So we'll just be, walking down the hallway and oh, Brittany, you left a sock here, and she's like, what?! And then we go on with our day, It's just...
Okay, so here's Luna.
There's Luna, yay!
Yeah.
Luna number 2. Jeez.
Yeah.
That didn't
Good.
throw very well.
Alright, and then Chibi Usa. Whoa, she's huge. She's massive, man. Okay.
Compared to Luna.
Oh my god, look
How
at this.
tiny is Luna? Oh, she's adorable. I love her.
Aww.
Is she Charmander size, you think?
She's probably around Caro size.
Yeah.
Aw, that's
Alright,
cute.
and then here's the Chibi, and then here's tuxedo mask.
Tuxedo mask.
Yeah, and then just a recap from last week.
That's not what we drew last week. We drew Meowth.
Okay, but a recap from what I was supposed to do last week and didn't.
Okay.
We have Jesse James and an uncolored woman.
Nurse Joy. We will also be doing Officer Jenny.
Yep. We got Future Diary dudes. We got Eyeball Guy. And Full Metal Alchemist. I'm in love with my little tiny Armstrong badge. Yes, I am going to wear that everywhere, so you'll know that it's me, because I'll be wearing that. Everyone who wears those at conventions and buy ones is automatically me.
Yep, 110%. Also, if you're going to try to identify Brittany, of course, voice will not be the way to do it.
No,
It'll be the presence of Armstrong and Mickleo.
Armstrong, Mickleo, and
I was gonna say she's gonna
the ultimate 3.
right. She's gonna Horcrux this and just put a little bit of her into each Armstrong, so that when someone puts it on, she just this is your own possession. And that's how the Brittany virus will spread.
I'm gonna zoom into May here.
Oh, she's so mad. Look at the little panda. Oh, jeez.
Look what I did.
Oh, jeez. Oh, gee whiz. Oh, gee willikers.
Are we talking about that little black
forgot
space
that
you
little-
missed?
I don't
Yeah.
care that I forgot that little line. It's not gonna matter in the long run.
Okay.
We'll clean it up.
Scooch
Oh,
over.
I
Let's-
keep accidentally switching to this. Why did I draw this?
All right, we are now having the passing of the baton, which
And
we
I
are
am
like.
going to use the restroom.
Yeah, Brittany's running
real
to the
quick.
restroom here
Can you
real
turn
quick.
on the light while you do that, actually?
Yeah, Emily, I gotta get
Don't-
out. You gotta move back.
You
so
have
I
to
can get
go
out.
around
I
that
can't go
way.
out that way.
I can't.
We are literally all trapped in here by our stands that we have the microphone and the machines on.
I can't get out.
You might not be able to leave. You might just have
So-
to
Oh
move
no,
over here.
I gotta go.
Okay, then go.
Here,
Oh my gosh,
Brittany.
my leg is stuck.
Brittany, can you
Everything
get out
sucks.
this way?
Wait. Okay.
We're experiencing technical difficulties.
This is the least technical of difficulties possible.
Well, Emily, have fun with that.
See, the
Oh my
problem
gosh.
is
Yeah, have fun. This
all
is.
of us love cake. You see,
It's true.
I accidentally made 2 pumpkin cheesecakes.
accidentally.
Accidentally.
Where's
Yeah.
the pen, Brittany? Where's the pen?
It's attached to the thingamajig.
I don't know how to use this. Please turn on a light. I can't see anything. Ah. This is not a pen. This is. What is this? What is this?
It's a pen that you plug into the wall there.
Why
Accident
is it plugged into the wall? How is
to
it
charge.
Gonna, how is it gonna?
Emily, that wall.
There's a USB port. Why was it plugged into the wall?
I don't know because that's what Brittany wanted.
Okay.
Also, freaking accidentally made 2 cheese. Then plug it into the USB thing on the side.
Brittany, we need your help.
Is there a USB thing on the
I
side?
don't know. We also don't have the. Okay.
All right.
Uh,
Emily's getting used to the new tablet
oh,
here.
Brittany left open the tab with Gooey Gus. It's a gift too.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Get rid of you. I'm sorry. No, it didn't close. Dang it. Okay, you. I don't know how to work this thing. How do you click?
By tapping, I'd imagine.
Tap, 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 tap. No, it's not working.
Maybe tap harder. It's pressure sensitive.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah,
let's
Brittany
go.
accidentally made 2 cheesecakes. She was trying to bake a ham. Out came 2 cheesecakes.
Andrew, you have that file you made for me yesterday, right?
I do.
What is it called?
Oh yeah, you're on my machine there.
Yep, what's it called?
Good question. Instead,
Just find it.
yeah, just click on that. Don't go to downloads. Yeah, it's gonna be in there. I believe it's under Kickstarter, actually.
Is it?
It might be.
Oh yeah, that looks like it.
Yep. Just that guy.
Cool.
You should be able to click and drag it into Psy, I believe.
Sorry, you guys won't see anything we're not doing on Psy. Why isn't Psy an option for this?
Because I don't use Psy.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
I use Illustrator.
No, I didn't do good.
How dare you?
Man, you really have to push this thing. No! Jeez! What did I even do?
You dragged it down to Chrome.
No, I didn't. Didn't even make it that far. Look, I get like this far, and then it's like, nope. Okay, here.
Yeah, do that.
File.
Alright, we're...
How do you click?
I don't know, and Brittany is not here.
Brittany, you didn't leave us with enough information.
Oh, and good times were had by all.
I don't know where it is. Is it in Dropbox?
Yeah, it's in Dropbox.
Web?
No, there should be one for Kickstarter.
There's not.
Go to X Drive then,
Where's that?
under computer. This PC, X Drive down there. Phantasm. Sorry, I know this must be riveting
Oh, just
for
so
everyone, including Brittany, who apparently got lost according to the chat. Good job, Brittany.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. Finally got the image in. This is partially so we can have a halftone. Just prepared that
Brittany,
beforehand.
You didn't leave us with any information on how to use this thing.
That sounds like a you problem.
Why was it plugged into the wall? Doesn't it plug into the thing?
No, it was plugged into the wall because the pen was about to die.
Yeah, well, can't it plug into this? That's on
What?
the room. Into
You
this.
gotta move over. You gotta get over.
Okay, well, I was trying to fill up your spot because you don't speak. Come
Well-
speak. Come speak with Andrew.
I don't
Hi,
like
Brittany.
speaking. I hate Andrew.
Brittany, I have bad news for you.
My butt just hit my tablet.
I have bad news known as we are business partners for the foreseeable future.
That's true.
Probably.
Andrew's phone over here.
Not only that, but I'm gonna be, I basically am his sister-in-law, so even after we stop working together, I have to deal with him. Too bad I hate him!
How do you reach the other side of the screen with this setup?
Oh, just take it off. It'll probably be fine for the rest of the hour.
We'll see.
How do you click things?
You click them.
Is it the button?
No,
I don't want to do that.
that is how you click.
I don't like this. Sorry, I haven't used this before.
Emily, learning with the tablet. Emily, what was that?
Color purple. There we go. Yay! Look,
Aw, nice.
it works.
What
Very sexy.
Why is it purple?
what question was it that you're? Was it like what motivates you?
Yes. What motivates you?
From your random interview question
Yes.
generator here.
Conversation starter. Thank you.
What motivates you, my child?
So there's a lot of things that motivate me. I would say one of the big things that motivates me is just seeing the works of other people. You can Dropbox it.
Did it? It's on Dropbox.
Okay.
But yeah, sorry, we're getting source material figured out here.
What color would you expect?
But
that
I would
background
say
to
that
be?
okay, guys, if I'm speaking into the
continue.
microphone, you need to speak quieter into not the microphone. Anyways, but fun fact about me, I guess we're trying to get one of those out an episode here. Fun fact about me. So I actually started with graphic design. We talked about how I got my degree in that. I actually started with the high school class, which introduced me to After Effects, Photoshop, Illustrator, all of that. And I learned a lot more about Photoshop and Illustrator in college, but After Effects, one of the things that I've used for about half the projects that I've done, I am actually self-taught in. I started looking at other people's projects, watched a lot of tutorials. I really enjoyed being able to see the end product first and trying to work out in my mind how I would recreate that effect, and then seeing how that differed from how other people created that effect. Learning some of the best practices, handy tools, all of that fun stuff, and figured it out from there. So a lot of what motivates me is seeing other cool things that other people have done, and being able to go from there. A lot of what motivates me as well is just, deadlines. Stress is an amazing motivator, but also just a sense of accomplishment as well as OCD. I am a completionist by nature, so leaving things, incomplete or just half-baked, it just doesn't work for me. That's what motivates me. Brittany, or
What?
Candidate 1.
Candidate 1.
What would you say motivates you?
Oh, jeez.
And why are you qualified for this position?
Let's see. What motivates me, well, it depends on what I'm doing. If I'm looking up stuff, it's probably curiosity. Actually, curiosity motivates me to do a lot of things. Like, say things that are just really disturbing to get a reaction out of Andrew.
That never happens.
I'm not going to tell you the things I've said to him because I was curious to see what he would do. So curiosity. I also, I guess, want to make a better life for the wife and for my mom. So, yeah. Love for other people motivates me. And yeah, that's about it. Boredom sometimes. Get bored. I do a new thing.
Your motivations can be somewhat sporadic.
I'm a little bit of a sporadic person.
But that's not a bad thing.
Race thing work? No.
No, you...
Diversifies the team,
Why do you have to push so hard?
if you will.
Oh, because you... If
Can
you
I
don't
make
want to
it?
push, yeah, then go to others options. Go to 0.
So,
Put that in 0.
in other fun stories, story time again here. I just barely remembered one of the stranger dreams that I had from earlier this week. We were staying back in the hotel that we stayed in for Saboten, I believe. It was myself and some other friends. Emily and Brittany had other conventions they were doing. But we were back there, and it was my previous roommate and I were chilling down in there. And we were just feeling incredibly lazy. We had some kind of food, and we just, it was so messy. We needed more napkins, but we didn't want to go buy more napkins, and we didn't even want to go ask the hotel for more napkins. So the obvious solution was, of course, in my dream, to call 911. So I go ahead, dial 911, and I'm like, hey, my roommate, oh man, he's bleeding, so much blood out of his nose. We need you guys to come and bring, like, a lot of napkins. Like, a lot of napkins. And they were like, okay, cool, we'll see you there. So he went ahead to go wait for, the paramedics, and I got a small, like, squeeze bottle of red printer ink and started, like, spraying it all over myself and whatnot. Went outside, and the paramedics were already there, so I had to act like, I was, like, so sick that I couldn't walk, yet here I was walking towards them. And the paramedics, they helped me out. They had brought, like, a ton of napkins, and, they, like, wiped me off and whatnot. And then, like, the attractive paramedic lady at the end, like, with a wink, was like, by the way, next time you guys need napkins, just ask. And we were like, what? But how did you know? And she's like, you forgot to fake, like, to squirt the fake blood in your nose, the place that you called us about. I was like, oh. And so, yeah, we got napkins. So that was my hyper-realistic dream.
So on the topic of getting napkins for your bloody nose, because
yeah,
whatever, and napkins, do you prefer to cook or take out?
It really depends on what my schedule's looking like. Takeout is incredibly convenient, and sometimes that's all I want. I just want food, especially like comfort food. But that being said, I really do enjoy cooking as well.
Is this just not looking good?
It's not looking the best. I would do the bangs again.
Should maybe you draw this?
Yeah, I can draw that if you want me to.
I have a base for you here.
Thank
Brittany's gonna draw. It turns out I can't use this thing.
You get to go out the long way.
So, Emily will experiment with the tablet some more for next time. When we're back to badges.
Go.
So yeah,
King Zora
that's what I would
navigate here.
Would answer. It depends. It also depends on how many people I'm cooking for. Like cooking for one or even two people. Oftentimes it feels like there's not quite enough payoff, and you have to do it too often. But once you really break free from there, when you're up to more, two still is usually a pretty good number. But the more people you add, the more fulfilling I feel it is to cook.
Yeah.
So, how about you, Emily?
We've heard about me cooking.
Oh yeah.
I prefer to stay away from the kitchen as much as possible, because I'm trying not to kill everyone.
Much appreciated.
Mm-hmm. If we were to say, though, if I just prefer to have a cooked meal or a takeout meal, though, I prefer home cooked. Honestly, I don't like going out and doing things. I'm very much a hermit.
Hermity.
Fergie.
I almost said Hermit the Crab here.
I mean, yeah.
It makes sense, I suppose.
It works well.
But yeah, cooking can be some good stuff.
You're much better at it than I am.
I can follow recipes, no problem. But when it comes to just, like, actual cooking, like, I'm not good with experimenting. Brittany's really good at freestyle cooking, which I am not. Brittany definitely wins in the freestyle cooking arena. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to, like, following a recipe and... I wouldn't say technique, but, that sort of cooking, I'd say I probably do better.
Yeah, Brittany's really, really good at just, like... Okay, so... When I met Brittany, I was on this ridiculous diet to, one, help with my hyperinsulinemia, which is a thing I have. Oh, she's looking down at the rose in dismay and making this face like, you serious? And
Yeah.
he's gonna be coming off the side here, giving her like finger guns. Okay. So I was on this diet to help with, because I have hyperinsulinemia, so it was to help with like the migraines and stuff from that. And also I lost just like a crap ton of weight, like 10 pounds a month on that diet. Phenomenal diet, by the way. If you guys ever want to try it, you have to be incredibly, incredibly strict, so it's really difficult, but it is the ideal protein diet. And there are blogs online that will tell you how to get around buying their ridiculously expensive products just to do it.
Yeah, don't buy their products. It's not just that they're expensive. They are also terrible.
Yeah.
They are so bad.
They're not the best. So, but if you follow the guidelines set up in that, though, then it works really well. And, like, while I was on it, I never got sick. I had a ton of energy. Or at least once you get really going on it, you have more energy. When you first start, you have like no energy because you're used to having like a lot of carbs, and those give you energy. And then when you
calories.
yeah, she should be like mid pose
So, yeah.
and be like,
Just like that,
That's
like
beautiful.
Sailor Waluigi.
yeah,
What's that is?
the power of whack.
Oh no. Good.
Tuxedo mask. Oh, jeez. Okay. But anyway, so I was on the ideal protein diet, and it's incredibly strict with even like what vegetables you can eat. Like you need to eat 4 cups of vegetables a day, but you can only eat like certain types of vegetables. Like even some leafy greens are not okay. So I was on this diet, and Brittany, my new roommate that I had just met here, was like, I'm in a cooking mood. List 4 ingredients you can eat. I want to do a chop thing. So I gave her 4 ingredients that I could eat, and she made like the most delicious meal I'd ever had. Like using just those 4 ingredients, and like one of them was olive oil. It was just phenomenal. So that's the type of cooking Brittany is just amazing with, is just like, what do I have in the fridge? These things? Let me make like a 5-star dinner with this.
Yep. I do better with like cooking for a crowd, catering type stuff.
I do better with Hot Pockets, and
You can make a pretty mean toast.
if by
And,
mean you
and a
mean
cold cereal.
I was gonna say, if by mean you mean the toast is so angry with how burnt it is that it gets a life of its own and grabs the nearest knife and starts like barking out commands.
Is that what I Am Bread 2 is?
After I play I Am Bread.
I am bread, death
Is
to
it-
all humans.
Is it I Am Bread or I Am Toast?
I am bread.
Is it I Am Bread?
It is I am bread.
I thought it was I Am Toast.
Nope, it is I am bread.
Brittany, you're doing so much better than me. I'm sorry I failed at this simple thing.
Yep. Do we have any other fun stories from
We do have
From the
conversation starters, though.
the
Pull up my
sta-
phone, Emily. I got
No,
I know.
from the state fair. I'm trying to
Oh,
remember.
the state fair.
We had
Not that story, though.
Oh, no, not that
That was the
story.
most interesting part, but not that one.
Yeah, we're not gonna...
I'm not remembering this part, but you can remind me later. Okay. Yes. No.
Yeah.
Why would you think I was going to tell that story on a live stream?
So, if you guys ever see the people with the food truck that's like made of wood, that is the best way I can describe it. They have like a twister taters plate that is the best thing. They take like a potato and just like corkscrew drill it so it's like one long continuous spirally potato chip, and just deep fry that sucker and give it right to you. It is amazing. Like, and it fed like all 3 of us just one of those. It was phenomenal.
It was quite tasty.
Yeah, fair food is fantastic. I mean, like, the actual fair itself is like, I saw like a sheep, I smelled a cow.
I don't know. I was
we
pretty
got to see.
interested with the animals.
Yeah,
I
the
always
animals
liked
were
the
pretty
animals.
cool.
Very cool, but you know, it's still just like not an amazing experience,
We saw
but
some
man,
cool
the food.
vegetables.
Yeah.
Oh, we
I
saw some
will
really cool ones.
I will say this much, like, if you ever see an IRL bull, you will know what true fear is.
They are
Those
really
things
big.
are massive.
My gosh.
Nothing that I've seen a bull portrayed in has quite conveyed the full size and power of one of those animals.
So imagine there's like a 9-year-old standing in front of you with their arms out. Their torso is its head, and their arms are its horns. It is massive. And then, like, attach a body to that. It's like an elephant with, like, impaling machines on it.
Yeah. It is a tank with spears.
Yeah. It's friggin'...
And it runs fast.
Yeah. I don't know why we're telling you about basic barnyard animals. Like, if you've not seen, like, a pig, let me tell you, they are big and they oink.
Although, while we are on the old McDonald's subject here, we saw a baby duckling, and it was one of the most adorable things, because it was in with the baby chicks as well.
This chick was like 2 inches tall, I swear.
Yep. Well, and the baby duck was in with the chicks and was interacting with the chicks. So the chicks would go run side to side, and it would do this awkward, like, it required, like, a good, like, 45-degree twist of its butt with every step.
Oh.
It was adorable.
And when we were just looking at it, like, is something wrong with that chick? Like, it doesn't look like the rest. And then it turns around, we see the bill, we're like, it's a duck! That was a good time all around.
It was adorable.
And I finally, saw like a real pig, and I can't tell you how much I identified with that pig.
That pig
was like feeding
was
6
the most
kids.
nonchalant thing.
Do you remember
Like,
that pig who just like ate a bunch and just a bunch of food was spilling out of his mouth while he chewed at everyone? It was marvelous.
But this pig though, like all the other pigs were like with their faces down in their bowl, like eating their food. But this one would like stare intently at every person that walked by while eating, and then would like quickly duck down and get another bite, and then look back up at you like, I'm eating, but I'm looking at you.
Yeah, it also wasn't standing up. It was laying down. It was like, if I'm gonna eat, I don't want to put that much effort into it.
Yeah,
It was marvelous.
Are we talking about the same pig? The rose was over here.
I believe we're talking about the same pig.
Like on the ground. Like, that's a good face, just to have her eyes the other way.
Okay.
Just looking down there, like, what is this?
Shit. Oh.
Okay. Just because that'll give it a better visual fluency, you know?
Yep. So yeah, State Farm. It was fun.
It's a ton of fun.
State Farm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm was fun for a day.
Oh yeah, you're right. State Fair. Good. Yeah. Now I am tired.
So something that
thunk it?
I found out recently is that when you're an adult, even though you're in your early freaking 20s, you're tired all the time. And your joints ache. And your back hurts. And you're like, those dang kids stayed up until 3 a.m.
But you're like 20. Like, you were expecting this to happen when you were like 50, but you're not. You're 20.
Yeah, I can't help but feel that the effects of old age are really like front-ending themselves in my life.
Right.
I know, mister. I can't. your poor back. Your poor back.
No, I have. Well, both Emily and I, but I have. Yeah.
Me too, actually. I can't stand for that long.
Yeah. No, I have. Of the three of us, the worst back. My lower back is terrible. I suffer from actually a lot of muscle hypertension. So, I'm really prone to... I have a fairly strong lower back, but if I'm using it too much without, warming up properly or just using it too much, then it will... it's basically a Charlie horse in my lower back, but there's nothing you can do to alleviate it. You just have to wait for the Charlie horseness to, wear out. And it's terrible. But yeah, I have the same thing, like, in my jaw. I actually got lockjaw that lasted for like 2 weeks. And now my jaw pops whenever I want to open it more than halfway. So yeah, it's fun stuff that... I don't know. Like, I figured there would be no sort of, like, decay nor decline in my body until I was, like, 80 and already, like, on death's porch.
No,
but,
remember what Melissa and Jason told us, though? Those are cutie hats, by the way. Go check them out. They're fantastic.
They are.
They are.
We can talk about
cutie
them.
hats.
Yes.
That's because we're promoting them.
Yeah.
Okay, so cutie hats. they told us that the decline in your body is going to come a lot faster than you thought. And man, they were right.
They absolutely were.
Yeah.
And granted, we're still fairly
youngins.
spry youngins.
Yeah.
But no, like I don't say I have many regrets having grown up, but there are certainly many times where I will look back at like 12-year-old me and be like, "You stupid! What are you thinking?" Like, we've discussed my high fashion sense before, but one of the biggest ones is like, I insisted as a child for the longest time on the big boys don't take naps thing. And now I'm like, you name a limb and I will hack it off if it means I get an hour nap.
Yeah.
Man, I love naps.
Yeah.
Naps are amazing. Wherever you can fit them in, they are the best.
They are just really good. In fact, goodbye, guys. Have fun with the rest of the stream.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Nap
just
time.
kidding.
Yep. We are giving her another arm, right?
No.
No?
No?
It's behind
Just
her.
like that.
Where do you want me to put it, Andrew? Like over here?
Well, the rose needs to be like that's a good rose. but it
Following
needs
the
to
other
be, like,
one.
standing up.
Yeah,
like,
following
'cause
the
he,
other
like,
arm.
He throws it in the ground and it sticks. How does his rose go through like concrete? By the way, someone explain this to me.
That's a good question. Also, is Tuxedo Mask also like James from Pokemon? Or did they like share Rose? Do they just like bump into each other in Rose Depot? Like,
Rose Depot.
how does this work exactly? And Brittany, have the other arm going to the same thing. Because usually when you're pointing out, like, what's
There.
that? You're like, what's that? There you
Good.
go. Perfect. That's all it took.
This is a rose, guys.
Look at that. That
What
is a
good
rose.
Wow.
A rose by any other name, still a rose.
Yep.
Yeah, see, look, he throws it and it does that in the ground. In concrete.
Yeah, Tuxedo Mask is a bit of an enigma. And admittedly, like, I didn't grow up with much Sailor Moon, because, you know, I would catch the cooties as a 12-year-old.
Also, we didn't have cable, so.
Also, we didn't have cable. But, I mean, I have seen some Sailor Moon, and I am surprised by how much emphasis is put on Tuxedo Mask versus how much he actually helps. I mean, like, he's there for emotional support, but I mean, she'll be like captured and like, you know, chained to a wall, and he'll just like show up, throw a rose at someone's feet and be like, "I believe in you." And she's like, "You're the best. I want to be with you forever."
You know what would be so much easier?
You cannot.
You know what would be so much
No,
easier?
he needs to have like a tiny ridiculous face. Don't even use the thing for it, Brittany.
Ugh.
No, don't even use the base. Just do it as like ridiculous as over the top, like I helped, and have him be like tiny, like this tall, just like like he's in the background. And he's like
That sounds so awful and annoying.
But this is a bad composition.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Zoom out.
No, it's not. See?
That looks about right for a wallpaper.
It goes too far. Okay, fine. Should he be on the other side then? Going
What if we had him in the top right corner? Just higher up than her.
Like
I
that?
still think he needs to be tiny.
I like it just like this. Just like her.
Sure. Well, that's why I
Yeah.
wanted it to be just
Well-
like a little tiny him, like way in the background, like
Well, so what you could do...
I kind of like him peeking off the edge, though, because that'll look cool on a computer or phone.
Okay. Let's bring her over like that, but if you guys like it, then...
But again, don't do the base. Just have him be like tiny. Here, do you want me to draw him?
No, you can't use my tablet. You don't know
Yes,
how to,
I can.
You don't know,
I
you
can.
don't know what's going on here.
I am the unicorn wizard.
I am a unicorn wizard. Oh, what a lovely springtime for you to visit our city.
Andrew,
Good times. Yes.
what are some things that you shouldn't say at a funeral?
Oh boy. So, I'm going to answer that with a meme I saw.
Oh no.
which is a funeral is one of the only places in which I'm sorry and my bad are not interchangeable.
Oh, good.
I think of the IT crowd as well. If anyone hasn't seen that,
Yeah,
fun
that's
show,
wonderful.
very geeky. I worked in the tech field for a long while, so I've worked with a lot of programmers and IT folks, so I enjoyed it for that. But at one point, it's the thing of they're socially awkward and yet have to be social, and they're at a funeral for like their boss or something like that, and one of the guys is like, I hate events like this. I never know what to say. And the one social one is like, well, it's just really simple. You just go up to the widow and say, I'm sorry for your loss, and move on. And he's like, okay, awesome. So he goes up to the widow and he's like, I'm sorry for your loss. Move on.
Oh, jeez. If I'm not mistaken, there was an XKCD where he was... Which, if you haven't read XKCD, by the way, read XKCD. It's amazing. What is he doing with his body?
Please do.
Well,
What do you want him to do, woman?
so leaning in from the side and making finger guns.
He is making finger
No,
guns.
he's pointing like, yo!
Yo, listen up!
This just got turned down.
So, Brittany, all you have to do
Just
is...
rotate him, move him a little to the side, and make his hands more finger gunny.
And also still pointing out. But yeah, aside from that, you got it. You're almost there, Brittany.
You got this.
Guess what? My back hurts.
Wow, it's almost like we were just talking
Uh.
about this.
Anyway, so XKCD, there's a comic where, so still have him, like, poking his head out of the side, though, Brittany.
That, but rotated?
Yeah, there you go. See? Maybe not in the very corner. So I'm just thinking composition-wise. Okay, now make finger guns. Good. Okay, so XKCD, there's a comic where the, like, the text on the comic is something like, I found the worst place to have an argument while on a wireless headset. And it shows this guy walking through a graveyard like, I told you to use sans serif font, so really this is your fault, not mine.
It's beautiful. Ultimately, there are a lot of things one should not say at a funeral.
Oh, wait, okay, so...
That's perfect. You
Wait,
did it.
guys, okay, so, my dear friend comes to my dad's funeral, right? This was 5 years ago, right? And, immediately asks me, as the funeral, ends, do you want to go see The Lion King?
Oh.
I was like, I love you, but I'll pass. I'll pass.
Jeez, maybe they hadn't heard the spoiler that, Mufasa dies. Spoilers, by the way.
I thought we were keeping this a spoiler-free
I'm
channel.
sorry, I know a lot of people haven't seen The Lion King yet. Speaking of The Lion King, boy,
Oh, good.
boy did
Yes,
I read
please.
a thing on Tumblr the other day. So this was a story from the Zazu, from the original Broadway production of Disney's The Lion King, telling a group of students that, that is beautiful, Brittany. Jeez. He didn't tell them that. In the original Broadway production, there were 2 pre-recorded sounds that were on a cassette tape for the people to,
To play
play
as sound
during
effects.
that's what I'm trying to say. The stage hand people to play during the show. One of which is Pumbaa's fart during the hyena chase scene. The other of which is Mufasa epically saying "remember" as Simba climbs Pride Rock during the climax of the film before he lets out his final roar to secure that this is my kingdom, I've done it. The technician forgot to flip the cassette, which for you youngins means that he did not play the correct clip. So, You know, it's raining. There's like corpses of hyenas everywhere. All of the kingdom citizens are looking up to Pride Rock as Simba climbs up, and the majestic voice of Mufasa comes through as the voice opens. Just imagine that. Just imagine the heavens opening to a fart sound as Simba walks up Pride Rock.
Oh, man.
Oh, I wish I could have witnessed that.
You thought you were going to be king. Oh, you should have seen your face, Simba.
Do you approve of me now, Dad? No.
Dad. Here you thought he was being playful. Nope. How do we keep coming back on the Lion King? Like,
Oh, yeah, I forgot it's Scar.
Scar and his rainbow ascot, which I still say goes with everything.
No, jeez. I don't know. How does this keep happening?
That's a good question. That is a very good question.
Oh, hey, Jelly.
why would, So, Emily,
Don't look at that right now. You got a thing to do. Yes.
what would you say is something you shouldn't say at a funeral?
'Twas I that set the house ablaze.
Woo. That is, probably.
Basically, any meme you should not say at a funeral. Probably should not say "dicks out for Harambe."
That is going to be the theme of my funeral. Thank you.
If that's the theme, then it's appropriate. But...
Okay, Andrew, I'm gonna remember that when you die 4 years before me.
We're all
Please
gonna
do.
die like the exact same age.
In all seriousness, though, like, I'm going to make a living will that says $100, one crisp meme buck, goes to anyone who attends my funeral in full Grim Reaper attire. Scythe mandatory.
Oh, jeez.
They are not allowed to say anything. They
I'd
just
do
have
it.
to stand in the background.
$100.
I'd do
Oh
it.
man, but I couldn't give like a nice heartwarming obituary if
No,
I
you
wasn't allowed to
couldn't.
say anything.
No.
So I'd have to like costume change in the middle. Like, and I can't finish this
at,
and
like,
I run out and then
94
I
years
come
old.
back. Yeah.
Good. I'll leave you guys other things. The 100 won't be an incentive for you. I want you guys to attend normally.
Fine.
How else are you going to be Harambe and the Dick? I have your costumes planned already.
Okay, so
And the dance
so hear me
number.
out. The casket is just a red herring. Andrew's body's not actually in there. It's already like buried. In the casket is Brittany in the dick suit. And when I go up in the Harambe suit, one of the Grim Reapers will be paid an extra $100 to be like, "It's Harambe!" And Brittany will jump out of the casket yelling, "Dicks out!" This is not appropriate for all ages. We are doing a bad job of being appropriate for all ages.
At least for
We're doing a good job of being funny for all ages. Even then, maybe not the best.
No,
But still.
we're lame for all ages.
Oh, snap.
such old, lame old people, guys.
I know.
We are. Let's complain
Us and
about
our
our backs
memes.
and the youngins.
Let me tell you, though, young people.
Them young people. And
Although-
you want them to age like 28.
So
Okay,
while we
it's
are actually on the
generated
story of funerals and whatnot, fun fact, I actually worked in a mortuary for a summer.
Oh, gosh.
So, and I actually helped with the funerals. I helped set them up. I didn't help like put the bodies in the caskets or anything, but I did help with like the bulldozer lowering it onto the funeral setup. I helped set.
Bulldozer?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You use bulldozer. You take the scoop
backhoe.
off and it's
Yeah. Yeah, you use the
Bulldozer's
hydro.
one of those things that
So backhoe,
okay, thank
whatever
you
you want to call it. Bulldozers are well, no, they're
No,
they're
the
same.
bulldozer has a back scoop that can be taken off and
Yeah.
replaced for a small crane. So a
what
bulldozer
lovely
can also be a
springtime
crane.
Yeah.
to visit our city.
And we wouldn't even take the scoop off. There are hooks on the top of the scoop that we would attach the chains to.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I was correct, Brittany. It was a bulldozer
Oh, weird.
that
okay.
would then carry the coffins over there. So my best story of that was so there's a little hydraulic frame, basically that the casket rests on. It rests on these two fabric strips that go across it horizontally. And it's a hydraulic based thing. So you flip a switch and basically the gravity of it goes and lowers the casket slowly, the hydraulics being what slows it down. But we have these little bars that we put on top of it first, because otherwise that would be bad. It's one little lever, and like someone's coat, like sleeve or something, could snag on it, and just halfway through the funeral the body would start lowering into the ground, and we'd have to bring the bulldozer over to get it back up, or we just leave it like halfway buried. So anyways, those little bars were very important. One of them slipped and fell in. We were doing it backwards. We had forgotten the bars to begin with, and we had put the casket on top, and then we had gotten some bars. Can't remember if we forgot or we just didn't have enough bars for all the funerals that day. Either way, so we had to lift up the casket and slide these bars underneath. And as we did, one of them, we missed hooking one of the sides, and it fell underneath. So we now have this casket and about a foot, maybe a foot and a half space between the casket and the edge of the double depth hole. This is now a 16-foot deep hole. I am the youngest here. I am 15. No, I'm 16 at this point.
I think you were 15.
No, I was 16. 15 was Raging Waters.
Oh, you're right.
But so 16, like the next youngest was in his late 40s. So I was, of course, elected to squeeze my way in between this casket and the ground and drop my way into a 16-foot hole to grab a metal bar, stick it in the back of my pants, and then, like, Emperor's New Groove my way up out of there, like a hand and a foot on each wall, and just spidered my way up. All the while, there's a dead body in a coffin right above me, with nothing stopping anyone from, like, pulling the catch and having the body slowly come down and crush me.
Wow.
Yeah. Welcome to,
That would have been kind of a cool way to go out, though, Andrew. Let's be real.
There's certainly worse ways to go out, but yeah, that is welcome to full-time job with 16-year-old Andrew.
16-year-old Andrew really did everything he could to earn those video games.
I worked hard.
I appreciate that, because I got to play those video games without working hard.
It's true. You just sat there and did nothing.
Yeah.
But you started... Did you start at 14?
At
15?
16.
Oh, at 16?
Yeah, that's when I started working Lagoon. Because
I started
at
14.
You're paid like half as much.
Yeah, that didn't stop me.
No.
But I wanted spending money.
Yeah, they were the only place that would hire you. And so Andrew and I did have an allowance for a couple years as kids. So in this allowance system, we would be rewarded stars for every chore that we completed. All of the chores were worth at least 1 star. Some of the harder ones, like doing dishes, I guess was harder than like brushing your teeth. You know, they're like kids' chores. So, you know, doing dishes would be worth 2 stars, and like doing your laundry would be worth 3 stars. And you would total up all your stars at the end of the week, and then that was your allowance. Each of these stars was 5 cents. 5 cents. If we did all of our chores through the entire week, we got $1.25. We got no spending money growing up. We had to go out and earn it elsewhere. So at 14, Andrew was like, I'm done with my like $1 a week. I'm gonna go get a real job. So working at Lagoon for like $2.50 an hour was such a dramatic raise.
It wasn't quite $2.50. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Lagoon, it is literally the one amusement park in Utah. It is not spectacular, but it is all we have. And yeah, so I worked there. I was one of the annoying people that tries to convince you to buy games.
And play games.
So yeah, a hard sales, play games, not buy games. But yeah, I was a hard salesman at the age of 14, where they paid me $4.10 an hour, plus 10% commission if I ever passed my goal. The goals were of course set insanely high. I cleared it once by about $15, so that cool $1.50 was added to my paycheck. We even had several times in which they would come around to us. It may have changed since then, but when I was working there, they would come around and say, hey, today was a lot busier than we expected it to be. We're doubling your goal.
They did that to me too, so that they wouldn't have to pay you commission. But legally, they could pay you less than minimum wage because technically you were a commissioned job. Yeah, Lagoon is not great for following child labor laws.
No, it was a lot better than the water park that I worked at when I was 15, though. That following year, I wasn't allowed to be a lifeguard because you had to be 16 for that. So I worked admissions and, like tube rental, snack shack, all that stuff. Got my food handlers. But the admissions department, we started the summer with about 80 kids. We ended the summer with about 12 in our department. So I started working, 1 to 2 days a week. By the time I was done for the past month, they had broken every child labor law possible. Like, it was ridiculous. I was working, 60, 70-hour weeks. I would work 12 to 14-hour work days. I would not get lunch breaks during any of this. I would have to blow my emergency whistle just to get someone over to cover me long enough to go to the bathroom. It was decent money, but yeah, they got hit with lawsuits hard after that. And not just because of me, but I did get mail that entire summer of, oh, tell me about your recent employer.
I wish you'd done that and gotten some sort of legal compensation.
Me too, but at the same time, 15-year-old me didn't need that kind of legal compensation.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, I mean, as awful as 14-year-old jobs are, because let's be honest, anywhere who's going to hire a 14-year-old does not have the best standards. So even as awful as those types of jobs are, it really did give us the skills we needed to get further along in life,
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, a lot of what I've learned, even with just basic stuff like managing cash and keeping bills organized and stuff like that I learned from working at Lagoon, that horrible amusement park it's really fun as an amusement park, and if you go there, you should make some games employees' day and actually play their game and be excited about it, because it means the world to them. Yeah. Also just play Lucky Duck. Lucky Duck, you can actually win, and the prizes are probably worth the $2 you paid. So.
But no, play one of the impossible ones.
Oh, that's
you
true.
got to play the
yeah.
surefire ones. I got to manage the impossible ones.
Oh, I did work the glass pitch. I think they did away with that one, but it was the one where you tried to flick a quarter onto a sheet of glass, which is so when you work at an amusement park like this, you are given a number of money that you have to make in order to cover any given stuffed animal that you give away. So it's the probability, of you giving away one of these stuffed animals within this amount of money is significantly low, so that they know that you're giving away stuffed animals or losing stuffed animals if you're a significant amount off from what this number is that they expect you to make for every prize that you give. Which was another thing, by the way. If we gave away more prizes than I don't know if that was a thing when you worked there, but if you gave away more prizes than you covered for, that came out of your paycheck. So I worked at Glass Pitch, where it was $100 for me to cover a stuffed animal on a game that takes 25 cents to play. If that tells you anything about the odds of winning that game. They did away with that game. It's something else now, but it was nearly impossible. I think my time working I worked at least once a week for an entire summer, so I worked it several times. I had one person legitimately win, but I did have one day where a group of 13 or so people came, split in two groups, but still clearly with each other, because they were yelling at each other over the places. Okay, and I'm a single 16-year-old working this thing, and they would take turns distracting me on one side and stealing my stuffed animals from the other side. I didn't get a paycheck that week because of those complete losers, because I had to cover for $300 of stolen stuffed animals that I didn't make the money for in the game because there was no one there. But they just freaking stole them. So don't steal stuffed animals from workers at amusement parks. They are already paid crap, and literally they stole those stuffed animals from my 16-year-old paycheck. So
That's illegal to take from your paycheck.
Not at Lagoon.
That may be something that was introduced a little more recently.
They may have gotten rid of it because it's completely unethical
and illegal.
And illegal, yeah, but
yeah.
Okay, so we are out of time.
Are we going to finish this up?
we may as well just finish it up. Brittany, you're almost done. You just need to color and tuxedo mask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that you're doing the colored lines on it. I think that gives it a nice...
Yeah, it
variation.
looks beautiful.
It looks very good, Brittany. You did a very fantastic job with this.
You
So
did
if
indeed.
you guys want to hang on, we're just going to go ahead and go overtime on this one and finish this up.
Yep.
Just so we don't have any more catching up to do next week.
Aside from polishing off our Pokemons.
That's true.
So,
That won't take too long, though.
yeah. But we've got a lot of restock to do.
Mm.
We have a slew of conventions coming up in October.
Oh, we do. And
through November, too.
And November.
And through November, yeah.
Yeah.
So
By the way,
we're...
we have a ton for January as well.
Oh, do we? Cool.
Sweet.
We do not have anything for... well, no, we have 2 for February on the same weekend. And nothing in March. Which I think would be a good time to just stock for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Well, and we'll have, hopefully, Kickstarter rewards to be working on throughout all of this.
That's true.
Indeed. So we're really excited for Kickstarter, guys. Not just because, we get to do something we've been wanting to do for a long time, but even the process of, creating it, a lot of thought and effort and attention and love has gone into this, and we really do hope that you guys, appreciate it. And thank you for supporting us in these events leading up to it.
Oh, it means a ton to us that anyone is watching these right now. I honestly, like I've said probably every video, didn't think anyone would be into watching us draw chibis, so thank you so much.
Absolutely. 110% thank you guys
Yes,
for
thank
joining
you.
us.
Wait, should we do like a free badge if they mention they saw us online? They saw our live stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
We'll let you guys know, but
yeah, we'll give you
it
guys
does mean a lot.
a free something or other if you see us at a convention and mention you saw us on the live stream.
And she who shall not be named.
Who
We do have
still
more Yu-Gi-Ohs
owe
now.
that, yeah. I just cut out more Yu-Gi-Oh today. So,
We've
we'll
got
probably
the
see you
duelist.
before the next convention, though.
Yeah. Likely so.
Likely story. Can we talk about how Undertale's been out for a year?
I
Oh,
know.
yeah, Undertale's been out for
That's
a year.
crazy.
I know, jeez. I mean, that dates this episode. I don't think that's a problem. But
No.
I don't think it's a problem.
yeah.
It's a live stream.
That's
People
true.
will know
Yeah.
precisely
Oh man,
what day this
no,
one.
no, it's gonna be like the 20 seconds of lag between here and when they get to us. It'll change. It'll been like 3 years in that 20 seconds. They're like, what are you talking about? Undertale came out decades ago. It's what shaped my generation. And we'll be like, here, youngins, your Undertales and your hula hoops.
Yeah. I really
Yeah.
want to, as a celebration of the 1 year of Undertale, if we can squeeze in it at some point, I really do want to do a genocide run.
I want to, I want to get the storyline part of that, but I would feel so bad doing it. I was planning on doing one myself when I, heard it was a thing, and, I was just, on Tumblr, because we had a friend who was into Undertale, the moment it came out, before it exploded, who, insisted that we need to play it, so we took some time off and played it, because we hadn't played a game in a while, and, so when it was, really rare to see anything, and you could still see spoilers for Undertale on the internet if you weren't careful, I saw just, a picture of Papyrus's death, and I knew right then I cannot do a genocide playthrough. I might be able to watch someone do it, but I can't do it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I saw the final boss fight. I'm not going to spoil who it's with. You guys will probably know. But I grew up with the really hard games. Some of my earliest games were Mega Man, which if you have not played one of those through, one of the good old classic Mega Mans, that will put the knowledge and the fear of a marathon boss battle in your young heart.
Oh,
It is 3 stages minimum, no healing in between. They were always ridiculous. And I adore Mega Man, and I still play Mega Mans and, a lot of the harder games as well. I've recently got the Dark Souls finally, and I'm starting to play my way through those. I enjoy a good game that's challenging but fair. Like, I can take punishing so long as I've deserved it and can work through it. I need to feel that, the problem and why I didn't succeed is me and not stupid game mechanics.
Like Super Meat Boy?
Yeah, like Super Meat Boy is a good example of that. It's you can see what you need to do. It's just having, the reflex and being able to keep track of everything in order to get it done. It's really fun for that. And because of that, I really do want to play the Genocide run with, a lot more difficult gameplay, but also a lot more fleshed out story for what is probably my favorite character from that universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably bite the bullet and do it one of these days, but So, controversial question for everyone. Do you want there to be a sequel to Undertale?
I don't.
Ooh, that's a
don't
good
think so?
question.
I'm gonna go ahead and put my 2 bits in here first. I think so, because if it were, like, something done by a production team, I would say that having it be this amazing is a one-time thing, but it's just one guy who made it and had complete control over every element, which is why everything tied together so nicely. It was because it was one person that it was his project, it was his baby. He made it the perfect thing because he could put as much time as he wanted to into it. I think now if he wanted to make a sequel, he strikes me as the type of person who wouldn't do it for money. He would do it because he had a good idea for a sequel and wanted to make an amazing sequel. And I would think that he would do a fantastic job with it. It wouldn't just be to cash in on anything.
While I do agree that I think Toby Fox would do an amazing job with it, I would almost feel sorry for him if he did a sequel, just because inevitably it would end up being compared to the first, which has this advantage of there were no expectations for the game. It came out of nowhere and caught everyone by surprise, and that was part of the charm and the magic of the first game. So no matter what he did in the second one, I don't feel that it would live up to the expectations, and as such, he would probably be slammed and rammed by the community, which is not something that I want to see happen to someone who gave us such a wonderful game. I really don't feel there's much of anything, if anything, that was left unconcluded in the first. I could see something prequel style, perhaps. Mm-hmm. And while I would like a little more fleshing of things like, W.D. Gaster, that has also been one of the points of, exploration and theorizing from the fans, and that has been kind of fun. I don't know, like, I do want the answers to stuff like that, but I don't know as if I want it in the format of another video game. Mm-hmm. I'd love to see the story continued maybe as something that wasn't a video game, which sounds weird because I adore video games. But again, I worry that it's going to be compared to the first so much. I mean, even things like Portal and Portal 2, which arguably Portal 2 is one of the best sequels built on what was already a really quite popular and well done predecessor. It still gets compared to the first one, and there are things that wouldn't have maybe bothered some people about the second if it weren't for the foundation of the first.
I guess I can see that. So how about this then? Do you want Toby Fox to make another game? If it's completely unrelated to Undertale. Do you want that, or do you think it will have the same problem? Do you think he could do a fresh start and have a completely new idea?
I think it's certainly possible for Toby Fox to do that. I also do think, though, that, he spent a lot of time working on Undertale and, working on that from previous projects. So if he were to do something like that, it's something I would be down for, but I would want him to take several years on it to really flush it out as much as he did with Undertale.
That's true.
I'd want it to be a fresh concept that he has time to, be able to develop and expand upon.
How in the world did Scott Cawthon make so many games so fast?
I do not know.
Like, wasn't the time between 2 and 3, 3 months?
It was ridiculous, whatever it was. Yeah. Part of it just comes with, the brilliance of how he programs it. Mm-hmm. But, man, now you make a good point there. Mm. I don't know. Hey, that comes out.
Yeah, sister location.
2.5 weeks.
Everyone be excited for that. We will draw sister location characters once we get some good actual images of them and know what colors they need to be.
Yep. Which we're still waiting on. So help me, we will get them. But right now, information is being kept on a tight leash.
I'm really excited. I love the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, even though I can't play it myself because I am a wimp. I am a huge fan of his storytelling abilities and how he's so good at flushing out a bunch of, like, really complicated backstory through such unconventional means. I think it's fantastic.
I completely agree. Again, we've talked about my complete inability to play that game, but I really did love it for its storytelling and the story as well, but the methodology in which it was delivered is some of the most amazing stuff I think I've seen, and he did a wonderful, amazing job with it.
He's another one. I think people, like, give him a lot of crap for, like, oh, you're just making new games because you want more money and you clearly didn't plan the new things and blah-de-da. I don't think that's true. I think he had a better story planned to begin with and is having a good time making the games, and the reason he's coming out with a ton of games really quickly is because he's excited about it too. He's excited that people love this thing that he's made, and I'm excited to see more of it.
Yeah, me too. All right. And
Okay.
it looks like Brittany's wrapping up here. Did we want to change the color on the halftone to more like match her skirt?
Oh yeah, huh?
Or something like that?
Deep blue. Go ahead and try it. It's already on a pastel lock.
It might look good as a red as well. Or maybe like the green of the flower. We can mess with it.
I don't like that.
You don't like that? Do we try like the green
I
of
like
the
that one.
flower? Oh, the lighter blue? Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
No, I
looks
think
great.
that looks nice.
And there we
I
go.
like it.
A wallpaper.
Alrighty.
Do we want to have something like Fantasm Kickstarter?
No,
No,
we
we'll
no.
probably just insert our little logo down there and
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Just as a little artist credit, but we'll do that later. And there you guys have it. So this is a wallpaper. We've got it. And you can't really see it from here too well because it is meant to preserve quality. But this will be available in up to 4K resolution for any and all of our Kickstarter backers. Anywhere that backs $1 or more, you'll be able to get this one, as well as the other 2 or 3. I forget which number.
However many more we decide to make.
Yeah, however many more wallpapers that we do will be yours for free as anyone who helps us in any amount. I'm super excited for the Kickstarter, and like we said, thank you guys so much for supporting us in getting started and ready for that.
Yeah, we'll have more solid info for you coming up pretty soon here. Like Andrew was talking about before, we've come up with a lot more of the actual, like, tiers and everything for this. So we're going to start putting together, like, the actual Kickstarter page for it and announcing stuff officially. So look forward to more details sometime soon.
And we'll be doing this next week. We'll let you guys know. It'll likely be same place, same time, same great channel. But until then, all you lovely people keep staying lovely, and we will see you next stream.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
You have to stop the stream, Brittany.
Brittany is stopping.